Welcome back. So I was talking about expectations, and then just the expectations for the mini lesson, and then also expectations for those station groups. When they're at those stations, or for independent practice, I want them to be quiet and working together. Um, oh, independent practice, they are quiet and working independently. And then when they do those stations, depending on the station, I do want them to be talking, discussing back and forth, but I want them to make sure they're using that math talk and that the noise level is down, and they're also treating the learning materials with respect, and that way everything's controlled and no one's getting too distracted. I think I tried to give the directions for everything as clear as possible, so students should know what to do. However, if they have any questions, they can always go ask their classmate, ask their table group, ask their station group, or come ask me. As far as managing good behavior, managing student behavior, if they have a good transition, I want to be sure to mark that off on the transition chart. Um, Students can receive gold. I might use Cheez-Its or candy or table points. And I know I gave table points to a couple tables in this lesson. But just making sure I'm positively talking about their good behavior. And then, of course, I will probably have to use some negative punishments. So that could be like recess time, silent lunch, sending them to Miss Holmes or Miss Farrell's room to complete their work. And I want to give students one warning and then proceed with the punishment so that they know I'm consistent and strict. If students are on the carpet and they're really misbehaving, I could send them either, depending on the student, back to their desks or back to the kidney table so that they know they're not doing what they're supposed to be, but they're still in the classroom so they can be listening. And I want to make sure I am consistent. Again, before I start teaching, I need to make sure I have the students' attention so that they are actually listening and ready to learn. And if there's any point during the lesson when everyone's just kind of confused, frustrated, doesn't know what's going on, we can take a quick brain break. We can play Simon Says, do some jumping jacks, give them maybe a minute to talk, and kind of get that positive vibe going. And again, if a student's misbehaving, if they're just talking to a friend or whatever, I can just walk up to them and hopefully they'll get that signal, make eye contact with them, tap them on the shoulder, something like that so they know they need to change that behavior. As far as environment, for this lesson we'll be doing whole group, partner work, and individual work. Um, there's not a lot of exciting stuff I would put on the wall from this lesson, but I can definitely use the stations from yesterday, which they will still be working on today, and that's what I would put up on the wall for this week's kind of unit. And then all those supplies, all of their supplies is either at their tables or at their desks, so they can easily access it and get it. For the respectful culture, I just want to make sure that I'm interacting with my students in a positive way and I'm excited about the lesson. So that means acknowledging their hard work, giving them support, giving them really constructive feedback about their work. I would also want to group students in a way that they can work together and be with our table group. So if I know if two students really aren't going to work together and are going to be not cooperating, maybe put them in different groups. And then in small ways kind of like mesh them together and be like, hey, our class is like a team, so you don't have to be friends with everybody, but you have to know how to work together and cooperate and get the tasks done together. And again, I want to be listening to what the students say. If there was something they really loved about this lesson, I want to repeat that. If there was something they did not love, I want to see if I can change it and use that feedback to change my future lessons. Again, building respectful culture starts at the beginning of the year, but I would want this lesson to reflect how I want my respectful culture to be. So just making sure I'm positive, they're positive. It is their classroom, not mine, so they feel comfortable. And then we can lead discussions and build on one another's thoughts as a whole class, so student to student, teacher to student, and them giving me lots of feedback about what they think. Alright, so that's it for lesson 7. I'll upload this all up on Go React. And there we have it. Thanks.